Hey, and welcome to All Things Podcasting, where we will be giving you an inside look at how to launch, grow, and manage a podcast. If you've been dreaming of starting a podcast but don't know where to start, or you have a podcast and you're looking for the best and most productive growth strategies, then this podcast is for you. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome back to All Things Podcasting, the podcast where we talk about all things podcasting. So today I'm going to be talking about a post that I saw in a Facebook group. If you are not marketing in Facebook groups, it is a great place to do market research and find out what questions people are asking and also connect with people. So I was in there doing my marketing, my engagement for the day, and came across a post where somebody was saying that they have a podcast and they really wanted to automate the whole process because they felt like they were spending so much time on editing and repurposing and pulling clips and pinning and blogging and doing all of the things. And it was just too time consuming. And there are some resources that you can use in order to make that process easier. Of course, the best way to go is to get it all off your plate, where you just record and drop it into Google Drive and you have a team like us handle all of those things for you. But if you cannot do that yet, there are some resources that you can use and some systems you can put in place to make the whole process easier. So I have my handy dandy little sticky note here. I'm going to put up on my screen so I don't forget anything. The first thing, which we talked about in a previous episode, is having the equipment and the setup so that your audio doesn't really need that much work on the back end. So it saves you a ton of editing time. So things like getting a dynamic mic, a webcam, making sure that there's not a bunch of background noise, making sure your mic is close enough to you, making sure that you're not like turning your head away or looking down at a piece of paper while you're recording, and ensuring that you kind of have a good flow for your episodes, have a plan, so you don't have to do a ton of editing on the back end. We like quick, fast, actionable episodes. Okay, so that's kind of like setting everything up. And then we also talked about in last week's episode using a program called Descript to edit your video, transcript, and audio all in one go. That is a huge time saver because it does take 2 to 4 times the length of the episode in order to edit. So if you do a 10-minute episode, it's going to take you 20 to 40 minutes. If you do an hour-long episode, it's going to take you 2 to 4 hours, which is another reason why we recommend doing shorter episodes. So using a program like Descript can really help that process, because if you don't use a program like Descript where you can edit the audio and video all in one go and then also get that transcript, you're kind of editing things repeatedly and then using a separate program to get your transcript so that you can turn that into like different social assets and things. And then the next thing is getting a podcast host. So I actually know people who have never heard of a podcast host before, and they have a podcast and they're going to each platform individually. They're going to Apple, they're going to Spotify. They were going to Google for Podcasters while that was still a thing. They're going to all these platforms individually and uploading their episode each week. And that's just so time consuming and so much to keep track of. So having a podcast host, it's kind of like the house for your podcast. It's where it lives. You just upload it there, put your description in there, and you are good to go. It will automatically distribute that episode to all of the places. And then there's some resources like vidIQ and TubeBuddy that will help you. They're specifically made for YouTube, but they also help for podcasts as well, because it's a lot of SEO keyword stuff that they're doing. So that will help you come up with episode ideas. It'll help you come up with keyword titles, keyword descriptions, competitor research, YouTube tags, all of those things, so that you don't have to start from scratch. It's going to give you those ideas and a jumping off point, give you that confidence of knowing, okay, here's the things that I need to include in that description, in the YouTube tags, in the title to make the episode perform well. And then another thing that we also use is a social media scheduler. I really recommend Metrical, and it is a social media scheduler that will allow you to take the clips that you create in Descript. That's another bonus of Descript, is it's really easy to pull short form videos like TikTok style videos directly inside of there. So you will take those videos and upload them into Metrical, and it will allow you to upload that file, write a caption, put in the hashtags, and then schedule it to all of the social media platforms that you have connected. So it's all in one go. You don't have to keep going to different social media platforms and scheduling and remembering to post every day. That's just too much work. So Metrical or a similar social media scheduler platform will allow you to post to all of the places in one go. Okay, so when it comes to leveraging that transcript and creating social captions and blogs and emails, we all know that ChatGPT is the way to go. So we have actually designed a couple of different chatbots, one to help you plan out your episodes. My business mentor actually she went through one of our workshops and was like, you need a chatbot for this. And so she actually created that for us. And so we use that with our one-on-one clients now. So it will plan 52 weeks of content. It uses some questions that we prompted in one of our workshops. And then it will walk you through the process, asking these questions, and auto create a whole year's worth of content for you based off of the topics that you want to cover and what people are kind of looking for in those areas. And then there's also, you can use chat. We created a bot that will do, you plug in the transcript, you can plug in the full transcript, or you can plug in like sections specifically for like one short form video where you really want to focus on this key point of the episode, and you can give chat the command to write all the social media captions, all of the blogs, all of the emails, the pinned titles, the pinned descriptions, a Twitter feed, a Threads feed, a thread, whatever they're calling it. So you can give it all kinds of different commands to create all of these things for you. Of course, everybody knows AI is meant to use as a starting off point. So you do need to go through and make sure that you are editing those and making sure that they come across in your voice and they don't sound like AI wrote them, but it gives you a really good jumping off point. So those are some great resources to use to really make this process go by easier. The next piece is having a system and a process that allows you to walk through and use all of those tools in a way that makes sense and saves you the most amount of time. So that is where the AV Club comes in. That's where we are answering questions, we are co-working, we are giving you the step-by-step process, all of the SOPs to get all of these things done in less time so that you aren't spending your whole week trying to record an episode and edit it and repurpose it into all these things. We give you a step-by-step process that's easily repeatable. You can follow it, implement these tools into place, and save a ton of time when it comes to producing your content. So in the show notes, I will have the link to join the AV Club and all of the affiliate links for all of these programs. Most of them are affiliate links, some of them are not, but I will have all of the links in the show notes so that you guys can check out all of these different softwares. If you have any questions about them or any questions about producing podcast or YouTube content, you know where to find me. Send me a message on Facebook and I will get back to you. And I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of All Things Podcasting. If you enjoyed this episode, then hit the subscribe button on your favorite podcasting platform so that you'll never miss an episode. This podcast is for you, so be sure to reach out and let me know what you thought about it. You can DM me through Facebook or Instagram, where I also share valuable content, or you can find me in our Facebook group. Just search for All Things Podcasting in the search bar. I can't wait for you to join us next week for the latest episode of All Things Podcasting.